It's me. I haven't made a video in about a year, and Spirit told me I need to get out and make some. And it's not about me. The last year's been kind of ups and downs, in and outs. It's not about me. I did a reading on myself, and kind of surprising. It was about where I am, where I need to go, what I need to focus on. And the ironic part is my higher self, the soul, the ancestors, my soul. I've been marrying up with my soul, getting closer and closer, marrying up with mankind. But the higher self, the higher beings, they're in the fog. And if they're in the fog, then that leaves me in the fog. And when I get in the fog, this is a place I come. I sat here, was drumming for a while. This is where I meditate. This is where I get back to nature. This is where I get back to the spirit of earth, the spirit of the wind. See what nature has to say. Sitting here thinking, what message is there? What message is out there that we can pass on to help people? Because if never in history really is mankind been so at odds with each other. Seems like, you've heard it, the darkness is crawling all over land, and I understand you need light and dark, ups and downs. So I come out here to think and let the water, the spirit of the water, the spirit of earth, Mother Nature, the trees, the animals, see what they have to say. And in this world, there's a lot of people giving out all kinds of advice. Some's very good, and some you have to scratch your head at. I just was listening to some people. They claim that they're a deity incarnated in the flesh. Got people following them. I got to question that. Question all things. Question me. Question what I'm doing. Question my motives. So that's why I'm out here doing this. Just kind of showing you what I do to find peace and a little bit of balance. And what's coming to me is normally this pond is almost overflowing. A big waterfall goes down into the creek. Still got fresh water coming in. The waterfall's there, but it's not like it was. Spirit is trying to flow. Spirit is trying to communicate with people. But just like this season, if you look, this pond, this little pool, is filled with leaves, dead leaves. It's clogging up the waterfall, kind of damming things up. The water isn't flowing. If you can see, it's not stagnant, the water's flowing, but there's a film on the top. This is part of the nature of things, part of the cycle of things. All this stuff coming at us at one time, with social media, with this philosophy, that philosophy, this new way of thinking, this different types of things. We're being monitored, what we can say, what we can't say. And those that have watched some of these videos or followed me on the, different places and sites, and we've talked, this world it's not balanced. There's a time, just like the seasons, everything's in harmony, everything's that. But this is it's out of balance. And even the deities, even the guides, they know that. They understand it's a part of life. They understand it's a cycle of life. But has it really ever been this bad? A lot of people are out there, I'm going to say it, passing off, unicorn dust and fairies and everything's all light and life. It's emotional. They play on your emotions. And there's a big difference between being emotional and spiritual. We each have our own connections. But I think back to when I was a kid, this was what I grew up on. A place like this. We didn't have Nintendos. We didn't have all this stuff that's supposed to make us happy. This is causing stress. And there's so many ways out there. People, I'm just popping what's coming into my mind here. People are saying, well, here, I'll give you this spell to increase your money. Well, people got money now, but they aren't happy. They think more money is going to make them happy. I'm sitting here. I don't have a whole lot of money in the bank. Don't care. What I'm doing here, when I come out here, it costs nothing. But a little respect to Mother Nature, Mother Earth, the cosmos, the spirit, to get to know what is really wrong. And in this time of there's people saying we're here to be light beings and this and that, I'd posted a few things. If you look at the natural order, light that we get from the sun, light, it's there, it's everything, it just reflects. It's everything, but it's really nothing. Light has nothing. You can't see light or the different shades of light till it reflects off of something. You have a black hole. A black hole, they say, even traps light. So yeah, right there. A black hole is something that's just compressed, stars and even galaxies down to it's everything, but it's nothing. It's just compressed. It even takes light. And that's where we're at right now. You have the ones that want to expand and become light beings and love and light and perfect. And then you have the other ones that want to constrict, restrict, put restrictions on you. You can't. They want to control everything. Somewhere in between that is the physical world where we live. It's not perfect. It never will be perfect. It's just the way it is. And it seems like there's the two wars. And in the Norse tradition, you have Ragnarok. The two, Ashir and the Vanir, they're fighting. And if you get in Norse tradition, the ones are celestial and the other are terrestrial. What that means is there's the god of the land, the goddess of the land, the god of the mountains. They're physical gods. They deal with the physical world. And then you have the celestial that have to do with magic and wisdom, understanding. They're always at war. Finally, they made peace and they would swap different ones, different giantesses, different giants. That's where we are. There's the war between the compression, suppression, and a war between expansion. And if you look in the physical world, being constricted, just like Thor and the world serpent. Thor wants to expand, the serpent wants to contract. You can only contract so far. If you contract so far, you turn into nothingness. And if you expand too far, you're nothing. Just like taking a breath. Gotta take a breath. You can't breathe in forever. You can't drink that milkshake forever. You gotta stop. But you can't stop completely. You gotta let it out, take another breath. And where we're at the constricting point. And the light's saying, no, we gotta get back. It's pendulum. And like today, the gas prices are just going up. Everybody's complaining about this, but they're turning blind eyes to what's going on. In nature, if you turn a blind eye and you're not aware of what's going on, you're dead. If the rabbit don't watch over his shoulder, the fox or the hawk is going to get him. That's the physical world. And part of the war is all these people want to turn love and light and become light beings. Well, some say they're from the planet here and they're from this dimension. Earth in the physical world is a playground for our soul. It's a place to be what They can't be in these other realms. So why do you want to destroy this? When I was a kid, there was places that we went as a kid, and in a world of advancement, they destroyed them. We can't even go there anymore. Right here, right now, this little place, there's a little road behind me. They're logging up on the hill. Is it going to be here next year? I don't know. You know? I don't know. This war between expansion and contraction, is it going to be, what's going to happen? What's going to happen on the other end? And when the deities and my spirit guide and that, they're in the fog because it's never been like this. And I make jokes about Loki sometimes. Loki says, well, the hell with it. Let it fall apart and then pick up the pieces. And everybody across the world, they're talking about recession, depression, world wars. Is it going to happen? I don't know. Can it happen? Yeah. Is it possible? Highly. But if you sit around and worry about it and frustrate and all that, you're still not going to change the fates. Just like Odin and the gods tried to stop Ragnarok, they couldn't stop it. They did everything in the world to try and stop it. It's happened. It's going to happen. What's going to happen is going to happen. The problem is you have all these people out there, I'm going to help you transition. I'm going to do this. We're going to become light beings. Or, don't worry, everything's happy and everything's joy. Well, no, it's not. Because just over the hill, it's hunting season. Somebody shot a deer, a buck, or 2 or 3 or 5 or 10. That's nature. It happens. We need to get back to this. Because at any moment, anything could happen. A solar flare knock out the grids, the communication grids. People will go crazy, not knowing what to do. Oh my God, oh my God. No. If you get back to nature now, if you get back to the ancient ways, if you get back to the philosophies that were taught, and I know 10,000 years ago there was somebody sitting where, not here, but sitting somewhere, contemplating, it's going to be a bad winter, and we're always going to have stress. The ones that can help us get through the stress are our ancestors, our nature. Commune with that. Leave Earth alone. Be it nature. And I offer simple ways. Nothing fancy. You're not going to see me jumping around all happy on tippy toes like I'm a fairy going through the forest and spreading love and light. I go with the seasons. We're turning the clocks back. It's going to be dark. The bears go into hibernation. Some of the animals aren't going to make it through. What we need to do, instead of trying to change that, is learn how to understand it. Learn how to go with the flow, just like this water. It's going to freeze over. It doesn't take a prophet to know that. This water, this little pool, has been going through this cycle many, many times. I could go down there and unclog the leaves and get a good flowing, but did I disturb the natural things? So right now, through different practices, I love the runes. I'm connected to the runes on a very deep level. I go out there and I see people on there, here, I'll teach you the runes. They do nothing more than open a book and parrot what they've said. I've worked with the runes. Got a lot of life's experiences. I'm not the best at putting on a Broadway production. But what we need to do is get back to the basics, get back to Earth, get back to Mother Nature, because sooner or later it's going to happen. Just like a wildfire. If this place caught on fire, it would destroy the dead, the dying, it would destroy the good. But what comes out on the other end is a new life, and I think that's where we're at. Everybody talks about a major shift. It's not going to be much of a major spiritual shift. It'll be an unknown for a lot of people. How to make it through the changes that are happening in the physical world. If you understand nature, how to apply it, how to tap into it, into this physical world, you'll get closer to your soul. You'll get closer to what humanity is supposed to be. And something that really gets under my skin is our children. In my 60 years of life, I can remember everything back to probably my earliest age. My mother even said that. Was just a little over 18 months. I was in the hospital, I can remember that. But I've been around a lot of children and seen that. And it seems that society and the laws and the rules are against family, are against that, which that takes away from the natural order of things. There's just a lot that needs said, knowing how to say it. There's natural and unnatural laws. And it seems that more unnatural ways of thinking are being promoted, and the ones that see this happening say nothing and don't take a stand because they're afraid. And there's a lot of emotions, a lot of issues out there, and I'm probably going to be tackling some of them here in the future. The thing is what I do isn't all that great as far as Broadway productions and that. I just ask why. I see a lot of people walking around all happy, cheerful, but I can see right through it. Underneath, they're sad, depressed. And I use Robin Williams. He made millions of people laugh, was happy, but he really wasn't. People thought he was happy. And I sit here without judgment because I understand the cycle of life. I understand it. I understand you got to have good and bad, what we call good and bad. You got to have light and dark. You got to have rain, and you got to have droughts. I understand that. But make no mistake, there is a war going on. There are forces that want to help humans and forces that don't. Some are jealous. Some want to help so good that they want to transform who we are. Just remember, who we are isn't just flesh and bones. Who we are is inside of us, and we came here to experience that. That's what this physical world is. Mother Nature, the Mother Earth, the stars, everything that's physical, we say Mother Earth. We have different names for. Mother Earth is a higher being that chose to manifest just like we manifest into human form, chose to manifest into this, to provide, to be that. Anything in the physical world is from a higher dimension, and people are out there about the 5th, the 6th, the 9th, the 12th, all these dimensions. With all these dimensions, why do we need to transform the physical world into a light and life? It makes no sense. So that's part of the war. So for me, I'm just going to sit back. Like I said, I can offer different things through different meditations, different practices that can help maybe clear the fog. And you say, well, how can you clear the fog if your guides and guardians and spirits and everything's in the fog? Well, when you're in the fog, you have to listen. And that's what I do. Listen. I listen. And sooner or later, you'll get the answers. Sooner or later, the fog will lift. We just have to know how to handle the fog. So this is the first video I've done like this. I'm going to try and do some live. I don't know. I don't know. But I do know this, that it doesn't take money. It doesn't take all the anxiety. It doesn't. You don't need that in your life. And what you need to do is find out what's causing it. And I'm sitting here, it's starting to rain. That's part of life. Part of life. When I was a kid, we'd play out there in the creeks and make dams and be soaked. You know, that's part of life. We are distracted by so much today. I got to do this, have this, make this. It's just a short video. This is just a launching platform for me, I guess, but I wanted to come out here and just show you. I found this place. There's my little rock that was here. Been here for a long time. Great wisdom in it. The moss covers it. Seen many cycles, probably been flooded over. If you come out here, there's a meaning and a message in everything. So if you'd like to learn how to tap into this physical world to connect to the spiritual, like I said, there's many options out there, not just through me, but don't be fooled. Don't be taken into it. Don't be. I'm just going to leave you with a little drumming and sit here and think. I'll even let you look at the ponds, look at the waterfall. People take people on guided meditations. I'm not going to tell you what to see. I'm not going to tell you what to think. Just clear your mind. It's not that hard. You can go find a spot, sit in the woods and think. Well, thanks for watching it. Don't know how many people watch it. If you liked it, share it. I have a few sites. I'm going to try, and I'm not a technical genius. I'm going to try and get somebody to help me kind of manage all this stuff together so we can get more out. Get people out there to see what I do. All right. I thank you much.